Well, hello, everybody. My name is Ricardo Cabrera, and I am the Operations Manager for the Latino Chamber of Commerce of Boulder County. And today we are chatting with Jeff Butts, and he is the Multimodal Transportation Planner for Boulder County Transportation Division, Community Planning and Permitting. Jeff, welcome. Good morning. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you, Ricardo. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. Yeah, I work in transportation planning and permitting. Excuse my cat going to the window there. And Boulder County Community Planning and Permitting is a organization. We work a lot in long range and short-term planning. So we have a lot of different aspects to us. We include both the land use side of things, so houses and buildings, and we have the transportation side. I work in the transportation side. Within the transportation side, there are sort of two main areas, I suppose. You have more of the current planning stuff, what's going on right now, operations, maintenance. If people need to have transit passes, if they can't afford them, we can help get reduced costs for the transit passes and help people get rides if they have like a medical appointment. And then we also look at the longer range side of things. So how can we begin to change our infrastructure to be more accessible to more people? And we really focus a lot on multimodal transportation planning. So everything includes transit is a big push. And then we also do walking, bicycling, and of course the automobile is always included. But really begin looking at where are we now? Where does the community want to go? And then how do we get there? How do we begin to make it a little bit easier for folks to get where they want to go safely?
Wow, excellent. So you guys have the transportation division looks at all transportation modalities. So you mentioned walking and cycling and autos and public transportation, and of course, short-term and long-term planning. I notice, transportation, especially on the main thoroughways, it's an economic development important issue, right? Because if people can come to Longmont, for example, from Boulder, or go to Lafayette, from Longmont to work, well, and they don't have another mode of transportation, it's critical to the community development and economic development, and to sustain the ability for the community to work and evolve. So I noticed on your logo there you have 287 bus rapid transit, and I know that from our conversations it's a current project that you're working on. So well, tell me what you're doing. You guys are doing a study first, right? Tell me a little bit about the feasibility study that you're doing.
Great, thanks. Yeah, we are doing a feasibility study. And to your point on economic development and people moving around, this is really a regional area. So people live in Longmont and they work in Boulder, or they live in Broomfield and they work in Denver. And our roads are sort of, if you think of a garden hose or a fire hose and the size of those and how much they can push, then it really can limit economic development if we don't think about the future of the transportation corridor and people moving and going to different areas. And transportation is weird because it's a little counterintuitive. A lot of times you think, well, let's add more lanes and that will clear up the traffic. And that may for a short term, but what ends up happening is that people will change routes. They'll either change the time that they move or time that they commute, or they will change the mode. So for example, maybe somebody was bicycling before, they lived close, they moved further away, and now they're driving, or maybe it was easier to drive and then becomes more difficult to drive and it's faster to take the bus, and so people move to the bus. And so I guess that's really it's a little counterintuitive because you think you just add lanes and more people can get pushed through, but you add more lanes and they get congested is what we've been seeing happen. So we are working on the 287 Bus Rapid Transit Feasibility Study, this is the first phase of a multi-phase study for 287 from Longmont to Broomfield. Is what we're looking at for infrastructure, but then we're also going all the way up to Fort Collins and into Denver to look at transit operations. It's called Bus Rapid Transit Feasibility Study because we are working on transit in this first phase, really looking at how can we make transit very fast and reliable and safe, and an option that people really feel comfortable taking. And, back to that capacity issue, if you can't fit more cars on the road, how can you get more people moved? And so we're looking at transit, but we're not excluding the other modes. This phase is looking mostly at the bus and how fast the bus can go. But we're also going to be in future phases looking at the safety, because it's such an important aspect. In the next phase, we're going to focus on safety and intersections and a lot of different things. And so this first phase is really a visioning phase, if you will. So what do we want 287 to look like in the future? We're looking at transit, but we're also looking at other things, stations areas, for example. And how do we make it comfortable for people? How do we make it safe for people, reliable? And reduce any sort of collisions and stuff too.
Wow, so that's a big project. I mean, Broomfield, Longmont to Broomfield, but with outreach all the way to north and south on 287. It's quite a project. I'm sure there's a lot of things that are involved with that, not only from the city levels, but the county levels, because you're crossing counties and cities on this. It's a state, definitely state has to be involved because it's a highway. And I'm sure the public also needs to be involved. So how do you get the people's thoughts and get information from the public so you can get their input as well?
Yeah, great. Thank you for that question. It's really important to us at Boulder County that we do hear from the public. And because while CDOT owns the road and we're doing the planning and we're working with RTD and we're working with all the municipalities along the way, this is really a corridor for the people, the people who live here, the residents, the people also who visit. And how can we make this corridor improve the quality of life for folks, I suppose. And so to hear from people, we have this website right here, boco.org/287 planning, right here that people can go to. We have a public meeting coming up on this Thursday, which would be November 12th at 5:30 p.m. We have a Zoom meeting that people can get on here and they can register for the Zoom meeting. And we'd love to hear from you. We have different opportunities to hear from people. We'll be on there live taking questions, and we have some polling included in there. And then we're also going to have surveys and opportunities for people to comment afterwards. And they can also email me if they have any comments.
Very cool. So everybody go to that website. I'm going to put that information on our description down here. So you'll have the link right there so you can go and register for this webinar or this public forum that you guys are having this Thursday at 5 o'clock.
5:30 this Thursday at 5:30. Yep.
All right, 5:30. Yep. So 5:30 p.m. Be there. It should be interesting. Input. Send your input because it's important to make this project work for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, excellent. I think with that, we can leave the conversation today. Thank you, Jeff, for this great information that you shared about your department and about your project and the feasibility study. So I have one surprise question for you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you ready for this?
Sure, I'm ready. Yeah, you bet.
All right, so what is your favorite word?
Oh, my favorite word. Oh boy, I don't know. I guess I would probably have to say happy. I'll just go with happy.
Excellent. Yeah. And that's that's one of my many favorite words as well. So Don't worry, be happy.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Be positive. So, great. Well, thank you very much, Ricardo. Appreciate the time today.
You got it, Jeff. Till next
All
time.
right. Okay. Bye.